And once again, welcome to this another episode of our weekly Agiu PIE 7 Forum every Tuesday 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. We are live broadcast over DYMR Radio Pilipinas Cebu, as well as we are also live in our Facebook page, Philippine Information Agency Region 7, and delayed telecast over MyTV Channel 30, Mondays to Saturdays 3 to 4 p.m. and Sundays 1 to 2 p.m. Karong adlaw aniya kita nanukad sa Azia Suites and Residences dinhi sa Dakbayan sa Sugbo. And June is the Philippine Environment Month celebration, so that's why with us today are the top officials of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources to discuss with us ilang i-share kanato kung unsang ilang mga lined activities for this month's celebration, as well as we'll also be discussing their major programs and projects for environmental protection, as well as ang air pollution mitigation initiatives of DNR here in Central Visayas. So please join us in this informative discussion, which is brought to you by the Philippine Information Agency in partnership with the Association of Government Information Officers in the region. This is Hazel Gloria of PIA, and with me is my colleague Jan Carla Madreo. Jan, maayong adlaw kanimo diha.
Maayong adlaw, Ma'am Hayes. Dagang salamat and welcome to our episode of Agiu PIA 7 Forum. So, Ma'am Hayes, before ta magsugod at to sang ipaila-ila ang atong mga makahinabi karong adlaw.
Yes, Jan.
Unahon na to, of course, ang Regional Executive Director of DNR 7, Director Gilbert C. Gonzales. Sir, mayong adlaw. And next, diri sa akong tupad, Ma'am Hayes, ang Regional Director of the Mines and Geoscience Bureau, si RD Efren B. Carido. Sir, mayong adlaw. And sa tupad ni Red Gonzales, we have the Regional Director of EMB7, RD William Conado. And of course, last but not the least, the Center Head of the Coastal Resources and Ecotourism Research, Development and Extension Center, Dr. Alicia L. Lustica. Mayong adlaw, ma'am.
Okay, Jan, so before ta mag-start sa ato ang forum karong adlaw, siguro Jan, pangayuan na to sila og opening statement. I think si Red murag Tagalog, so sir, makaintindi po ba kayo ng Cebuano or
mapapasabak tayo, Ma'am Hazel.
May dalawa kang back up. Sige sir, so Jan, we would like to hear from Red Gilbert Gonzales, sir, for an opening statement.
It's the right time for this invitation kasi we're celebrating Environment Month this month of June, and siguro time for us also to share to the public kung ano yung mga ginagawa natin in the DNR, at the same time anong highlights of the Environment Month celebration and the theme why we're doing this. And so it's a good thing I'm with my regional directors of the bureaus, so they can probably provide us some details about the event and the activities for the month. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Red. We would like also to hear from the NGB7 Regional Director, RD Efren Carido. Sir?
Ang among pagsuporta sa Environment Month ay uyon sa among unified structure karon nga bag-o sa DAO 2018-18 nga diin ang kahiusan namo nga implementasyon labi na gyud sa atong mga programa na isakop na gyud diri sa pag dumala ni Red Gonzales isip nga among Regional Executive Director. Mao nga kami mapasalamaton usab nga ang media ug ang uban nga mga ahensya nagasuporta labi na sa pag celebrar nato karon sa 32nd and Philippine Environment Month.
Thank you, sir. We would like also to hear from EMB7 Regional Director William Conado, sir.
Una sa tanan, magpasalamat ko sa atong mga kaigsuonan sa media nga niya karon diri nga makihinabi nato mahitog sa atong environment, especially nga we are trying to emphasize the priority of the Secretary Simato in terms of sa water, sa air o sa solid waste. So sa karon nga buwan nga June as Environment Month natay theme nga beat the air pollution. So tingali we can have a better discussion with this in terms of unsay atong status sa atong air in the Region 7.
Okay, sir. Then we also have Dr. Alicia Lustica, the Center Head of CRER-DEC, ma'am.
Thank you very much for inviting us again in Aguio. This is an opportunity for us to share with our listeners the things that we are doing in the DNR Region 7.
Okay, dyan, no? So, nakasulti na magid atong mga guests, no? And kanina, naghisgot naman tanong nga June is the Philippine Environment Month celebration. So, siguro, we would like to ask them, no? Kung unsang ilahang mga highlights sa kani nga celebration. So, si Red, sir?
Actually, we started the celebration of the Environment Month last June 1, last Saturday. So, nagkaroon po tayo ng Rivers for Life Fun Run. So, we invited all the different sectors in Cebu, in the region, and we're happy to tell everybody that we were attended by more than 1,300 participants in that fun run. So, about 1,300, yeah, that's an expression of support coming from the different sectors. So, government agencies, private institutions, private firms, companies join us in this fun run. So, it was a very successful event, actually.
It's your first time, sir, no, to conduct that activity, yung fun run?
Actually, it's the first time we did. Lagi na maraming fun run, but for DNR to do the fun run, no, just to ang purpose naman is really to encourage different sectors, no,
Yes.
to be aware of the Environment Month and the theme of this celebration, and join us in the initiatives environment.
And it was really a successful. In fact, sir, nandun po kami sa PAY. We really support your activities sa DNR po.
Thank you dun sa mga gusto ko rin, I'll just take this opportunity to thank all those who join us in that fun run. We're so overwhelmed by the support and participation from the different sectors who join in that.
Yes, okay. See, sir?
Aside po dun sa fun run, are there any activities that we are lined up?
Yeah, actually, yesterday we joined some agencies in the Ecotech area in the government center. We also had the opening the unified money program for all of these agencies. But what we launched there is the Palit Basura store. So we're initiating a scheme of encouraging households and individuals to exchange their recycled materials for some cash, so para we can promote recycling from the household. So we launched it there, and then we're hoping to expand it in different parts of the region. So we're trying to work out encouraging the LGUs to work with us on this. So very successful, maraming na-appreciate yung initiative na yan. So
Okay.
they're happy that we're initiating that, and then we'll probably to come up with more of that kind in different parts of the region.
So, paano po yun, sir? As what you have said na in exchange of cash? Oo, so ano yun?
Yung mga,
Yes, oo.
meron kaming mga partners na mga junk shops.
Okay.
Na mga, we call them the buyback centers, we will call them later on. And then the one buying these recycled materials.
So, dadalhin lang nila
Dadalhin lang nila doon,
Oo,
and then
oo.
papalitan nila.
Okay.
Sir, as we are mentioning our solid waste, I'm just curious, sir, that recently in the news po, meron na po yung parang we learned that in fact solid waste can be used for cement production. So, can you please explain po kung how do we go about turning solid waste into this useful products? Yes.
Well, anyway, marami naman talagang technology na ngayon on how we can use the recyclable materials for common products, no? Like you can do cement blocks by using even plastics, putting into the concrete mixture, no? So, pero may mga we're looking at probably they're looking at the economic factors, no, to make it commercially viable. Pero Pero actually, we can do that. We're doing it. Some are doing it. It's one of the alternative technology that we are introducing for residuals and even recyclable materials. Pero we just hope na meron talagang mag-develop nito into a commercial product. But we encourage really to come up with secondary products out of this recyclable materials. So that's one of the very purpose why we're promoting segregation, is to reduce the amount of these materials going to the landfills. So at least we can reduce the volume and then make use of the recyclable materials.
Yes, sir. My addition.
Thank you very much. Actually, that's a very good question. I'm taking this opportunity to discuss in terms on how we can manage the plastics. No, in fact, there's a processing plant in Naga. There's an FDR. The one process that they are engaged on in the recovery of the plastics out of all this garbage. No, so Nestle process to extrude the plastic, collect the plastics and extrude the plastic in a size that will be acceptable by Apo Cement, all the cement plant, because this plastic is a very good type of fuel that is a high calorific value that will be used for firing in that game. So we will encourage all the LGU that they will have their own extruders, their MRF that includes the plastic recovery and reduction, so that there is an existing power plant or cement plant that's willing to buy all this extruded plastic that will be brought to their cement plant. So nakistorya na ko ang general manager na they are looking with, in fact they are getting some fuel outside of the Philippines. So I said, why not we have to encourage all this local government unit to put up this NRF with extruder to extrude all these plastics and in a sizes that will be viable in their plant. But in fact, the volume that they are needed is very huge, and we can expand that when encourage all these LG, then we can dramatically reduce the plastic volume in the region. So hopefully, I also encourage the company to have their own social development management program to include this in their management, so that we will have to encourage all these constituents sa mga LGU that they can produce this type of plastics. Another type of usage of the plastics, because this is the most problem natin in plastics, no. There is also a company which in fact they're very successful in Davao. They are converting these plastics into a chair, no, para sa mga convert it to chair. So with in fact the product of the company is ang buyer niya to mga SM kanang mga atong lingkuranan. Usually we are using kanang hardwood mantana, no. So this time they are using very thick nga kuan plastic na after their extruding, after their extrude nila, they have their form, and this form will be a symbol to form a chair, no. Kaning nga chair is priha yun sa itan-aw nimo sa kanang gihimo og kahoy kay maayo kay sila og formation. So if this will be promoted, we will have a big supply at big kanang users of these chairs, no, especially sa itong mga eskwelahan nga we are limited. And this time will also reduce the cutting of our trees, because instead of cutting of trees using the wood, they will have to use these plastics as their raw materials to make a chairs, no. So mo na usa nato nga i-encourage nga na naayo sa ka company. In fact, I have talked one of the investors that willing to put up these facilities here in Region 7, and I hope this will be realized within this year, so we will have some source of alternative on how to manage our plastic. The other one is as Red said, that this could be used for mixing some sanang rubber kanang hollow block, no, and there is already existing one in Talisay, so na commercialize na niya, pero the usage is not too much pa nga na nagamit. Pero this type of extruder, lahi yun na siyang extruder para this will be more finer to fit in the needs para himong hollow block nimo. But this is already in na-release na ni sa mga sa mga market, pero limited lang sa mga subdivisions nga ilang gisuplayan. But in fact, there is already existing one. So kung naay daghan nga mo practice ni probably we can reduce another volume of the plastics that is existing in our region. So far mo na ato ang nakitaan nga mga successful in terms of economic, as Red said, that we have to consider also their economic value if this will be profitable or not profitable. So all of this what I said before is these are all profitable in parts of how we can convert the plastic waste into resources, not anymore a garbage but a resources for making another product. Thank you very much.
Na-mention man din ganihan ni R.D. William ng na ay Social Development and Management Program ang mga mining companies or companies in general. Sa linya naman diri sa mining operations, doon na sa mga Social Development Management Program nga nagpromotar ta og livelihood. So kining pamaagi sa pag utilize o paggamit nato sa mga plastics mo na tong usa ang hollow block making. Kay mo ni siya pamaagi nga doon na tay local resource, the natural resource nga available kadaghanan sa atong mga lugar, labi na gyud sa mga graba. Kung utilize nato na siya, masagol nato siya, doon na magutay giingon nga ang plastic daw ay may forever sa plastic, giingon. So kung ato na siyang ma-utilize, atong ma-encapsulate ang mga plastic nga dili na siya malabay kasi maabot sa ato ang kadagatan, sa atong katubigan, nga may posibilidad pa nga masulod siya sa food chain, nga mobalik ra gyapon sa ato. So mas maayo nga mabalik na to, magamit siya sa ubang mga pamaagi nga produktibo. So muna nga diha sa hollow block making, kung mahimo siyang livelihood man sa lokal, mas maayo. Kay isagol man lang ni para additional dogang nga component ba. Doon na tayo graba, doon na tayo sand, doon na tayo semento, doon na tayo plastic, o doon na tayo tubig. Trabahoon ni sa atong lokal ng mga residente, pwede na nilang makuhaan o panginabuhian. So muna atong gisuyan karon pag paabot sa Social Development Management Program nga ilang paghimuon. Kay amo na ni nakitaan sa usa ka company dito sa Surigao. Doon na sila shredder nga specialized nga shredder. Pino gyud kay ni siya. Unya kana siya nga component mao na nagisagol diretso sa bricks and hollow block making. So ang ato na lang siguro diri is for the commercial production nga unta daghan ang pong gamit nini ug daghan na sad ang makuha na nga plastic nga dili na nato ma-dispose maski diin lang.
I think I'll be speaking on the research aspect also, considering that we are from the research. Okay, so there are a lot of things that we are going to consider specifically in using not only plastic but likewise oysters or mga shells in the coastal areas. Like for example, oyster, tahong, they can also be shredded as a component of cement. And there are already so many researches that have been proven that this is an effective component in making cement. So I think what our local government units and other stakeholders will like, prior to its commercialization, we need to have it piloted in so many times in order for us to be more competitive in terms of the value of this particular product in a specific commodity, like for example along the coastal areas, kasi ito yung napakaraming problema tinatambak lang nila along the coastal areas, which could likewise pollute the environment. And if we are going to convert this into other materials which could be a good source of livelihood for our local communities, this will be a big contributing factors in terms of maintaining the quality of our environment, at the same time producing products which could also be a source of their livelihood. So yun lang ang part sa research. But there are a lot of things that we are going to look into when we speak of the solid waste management program that we are doing. So aside from the plastic and other materials which could be a problem in our environment. So siguro I would like to encourage everyone that we are going to look into the possibility of not only producing products out of the waste, but likewise products which is already available in our backyard on local resources, which could be also used in terms of commercialization purposes.
But sir, is there a possibility ba nga in the future dili na gyud ta mo gamit og plastic kay di ba ang DNR7 also is encouraging kaning sa mga commercials na to ba establishment nga dili na siya mogamit og plastic.
Possibility jud, especially atong mga local government unit nga trying to pass a resolution that to ban the plastic use, and one of the LGUs nga may ban ini atong Mandawi in observance sa plastic ban, no. So hopefully if all the LGUs will pass a resolution to have to ban the plastic usage, so dako yung possibility nga we can not totally 100% but na dramatically reduce the volume or minimize the volume. So kay ang usually ato mga packages ganito sa mga company, ang ipack nila plastic man na, so di na yung kay nato na makuan unless otherwise there's a supplement nato nga plastic nga namagunayo sa study ko nga we can use plastic combined ang kaning nano technology using the limestone to convert the plastic. So this is more on mineral plastic. So kung that is a mineral plastic combinations of nanotechnology, so this is not already a harmful in terms of the environment. But I don't know kung how many industries are using this because it's too expensive for the company to use this one. So may gamit na sila ubang mga plastics nga dili kay environmentally friendly. Pero hopefully in the future when we are more concerned about the environment, so there are a lot of technologies coming in, especially to the developed countries sa Japan or sa Europe. They're using this type of plastic with the combinations of the limestone or silica. So this is a very good type of plastics in terms of solving the problem. One thing ng problema nato is we have to discipline ourselves the value that how to manage the plastics, no. Kay kung dili gyud nato ayon pag-manage atong plastic, may scattered lang na di man jud maayo tanahon sad, no. So mo na despite kung mahimo na siyang kuan kanang ma-decompose nga plastic na compostable plastic, pero if that will be scattered along the street line, along the shoreline, so di gyapon maayo tanahon nato. So it will boils down on the value of our constituent nato mga brothers and sisters on how we manage our own garbage, because garbage coming from individual. So it should be that the individual will also help to solve the problems of plastic.
Sir, it was mentioned na ang priorities nato sa DNR, especially of Secretary Roy Simato, is the air, water, and solid waste management. So the discussion of solid waste is good na. And I would like to ask regarding Clean Air Act, because last week when we had a discussion with DNR, it was mentioned na even ang pagsunog og dried leaves is dili na maayo because from what we know sa mga gitudlo sa ato before na plastics, rubbers, mo na sila ang mga dili maayo nga sunugon. Can you please explain to our televiewers and our listeners nganong hasta man pod ang dried leaves dili na siya maayo sa ato ang kahangin?
Actually, ang sa atong sa balaod sa Clean Air, ibahan yun natin ng open burning. So, kung mag-open burning ka, whether what type, is plastic ba na siya, or dahon ba na siya, kahoy ba na siya. So, gibahan na to na because there's a direct emissions of some gases that will be liberated in the atmosphere. So, unsa may mahitabo nimo if you have to burn the plastic. So unsa may mga manggawas nga mga so possible kung direct burning ka sa imong plastic, you have to produce a dioxin, especially when you have a very low temperature that will form a dioxin. So unsa pa may lain nga mga gases that will be liberated when you have a direct burning in terms of different types of one. So kung kahoy na, unsa may mugawas nimo nga pag-burning nimo sa kahoy na, they will produce some carbon dioxides, no? So there's an liberations of carbon dioxide. What happen when you have a very excess volumes of the carbon dioxide in your atmosphere? So at the same time, kung tanaw ni ang photosynthesis, approach na to photosynthesis, unsa may i-liberate sa to ang kahoy, the live tree will liberate oxygen, and the tree will also absorb some carbon dioxide. The problem now, if you have to open burn, nga wala na kay kahoy, nga mo-absorb sa carbon dioxide, so dili ta maayo, no? So it should have to balance the circle of life in terms of the photosynthesis approach, no? So basically, we have to go back in the very simple cycle of lives, cycles of the gases in terms of managing our so mo na nga butang natong open burning is not is banned in terms of the Clean Air Act. So mo na usa natong gi-consider na. So daghan kay na siya nga approach nga atong tan-awon. So in terms of namo gitay approach tawag nato waste to energy, no. So kung we have the waste to energy, ang gi-approach na is indirect burning. So when you have indirect burning, so you have to produce some gas, and that gas will be used also to fuel your waste to energy facilities. So mo na nga we encourage if you have to go in burning, use the waste to energy approach nga ma-recycle nimo ang gases that will be used as a fuel in burning a certain facilities or certain garbage.
For Sir Carido, no, kay Sir, although up to now we're still experiencing kaning drought, di ba, kainit, but lately lang, di ba, murag naka-experience na po ta kaning mga ginagmay nga mga uwan-uwan, ning ana. So we would like to ask lang here in Region 7 kung unsa ang mga areas that are most vulnerable kaning sa mga flooding, landslides, then unsay gihimo sa MGB?
Usa sa major program sa MGB mao na ang pag mapa assess o pag-identify og mga areas vulnerable to flooding o landslide. Ang nakaayo karong panahon na sa slight El Nino man ang tawag sa pag-asa karon. Doon na tayo dakong panahon nga tag-init kaysa tag-ulan. So wala kayo pa tayo maka sinati og dagkong mga flooding o landslides. Likayan lang ta. Ang usa nga gihimo sa MGB mao ang paghimo og vulnerability risk assessment or VRA. Doon na tayo mapa nga gi-generate niya na sa una na sugdan nato na sa 1:50,000 scale. Ang atong mga technical personnel labi na ginang atong mga geologists gi-adto nila ang mga lugar, gi-identify ang mga lugar nga vulnerable to flooding and to landslide. Ilahan nang categorize into low risk, medium risk, and the high risk areas. So katong mga naa sa low-lying areas are most vulnerable yun sa flooding. Labi na yun kung kusog ang ulan, ang drainage system hinay kayo. Unya doon na pa yung mga barriers, industrial structures, o sana sa mga pugong usa. Mao na nga among generate na nga mapa ug atong gihatag sa mga LGUs kailaning gamiton sa ilahang local disaster risk management planning, ila po ning gamiton sa local development plans mismo kung usa nga lugar nga pwedeng patindugan og mga structure o sa dili o kung patindugan man unsa mga mitigating measures nga angay buhaton para lang yun mapadayon gyapon ang development. So kining mga lugar na identify na sa ato ang geologists ug ato na po ning nahatag sa ilaha na ay mga listing na siya sa mga LGUs nga ako dili sa ko usahon kay daghan gug ayo niya identified ni siya by barangay levels na ang amo ang gihatag karon sa ilaha. So mo nang among hangi ug awhag sa mga local officials labi na gid sa mga bagong na elect karon nga katong mga local development rather the geohazard maps nga among nahatag sa inyo karong bag-o nga 1:10,000 scale gamitan ninyo sa pag palambo sa inyong lokalidad o gamiton usab kini sa pag-formulate og mga plano para malikayan ang may tabong mga dagkong mga pagbaha o landslide sa inyong mga lugar. Kay doon naman goy mga lugar yun nga most vulnerable, labi na yun kung naay mga tao bitaw nga nagpuyo na ng mga lugar. So muna nga ang frontline yun na agad ang local governments. Unya ang MGB kanunay mo asister mo tabang o mobulig kaninyo para sa pagtanaw ni ini mga lugar para malikayan nato ang mga dili maayo nga pangitabo dili lang sa katawhan kundi sa atong mga infrastruktura sa mga kayopan ug sa malungtaron nga development program sa usa ka lugar.
Okay, siguro dyan, no, at this point in time, no, so siguro ato ihatag, we're opening now the floor, no, to our media friends, no, to ask some questions sa atong mga panelists karong adlaw. So kinsay mangutanag una?
I'd like to clarify lang, sir. You've mentioned na we wanted to promote katong hollow block making and utilize plastic. And then you've mentioned also about this practice being implemented sa Surigao. So have we already implemented this, sir? Nga, doon na ba tayo nakita nga pilot area for the implementation of this project?
Ang una nga na-mention nga katong giingon ni Adi Williams sa Talisay. So na siya pilot areas. Ato nang ipalapad, ato nang i-apply sa atong mga mining communities diri sa Region 7. Kay doon namang goy pundo nga gilain ang usa ka kompanya giagwan gini gilatid gini sa Balaod nga igahin gini niya for the social development and management program niya usa niya na mao ang pag-generate og livelihood. So ang tan-awon sa lokal karon nga mga mining communities unsa ang resources nga naa sila. Una makit-an ang bahas magyud ang graba. Unsa may mga component nga kinahanglanon nato na ini para makahalo block ta. So idugang na po nato ang plastic. So doon na ang sa SDMP framework, doon na kapital nga mahatag sa ilaha. Unya doon na naman tayo human capital ang mga tao. So may bahin ini ato ng ubanon na duha, doon na natay panginabuhian para sa lokal. So muna gusto natong ipromotar diri sa atong region.
How do we go about this, sir? I mean, the specifics, kung mo forma pa ba sila o kaning group para makakuha sila sa capital, and then out of that capital, kinsa ang mo train nila for the hollow block making, sir?
Actually, di na kinanglanon nga mo forma sila og cooperative or asosasyon. Ang representante nila mismo ang barangay kapitan. Si kapitan maunay mo organize sila ha. Nya kung natay mga women's association, natay farmers organization, pwede na to na sila nga usahon para usab nga mahimong benepisyaryo ni ining mao nga programa. Pero bisag wala pa, pinaagi ng kapitan nga maong representante sa mga residente, makadawat sila niya ng maong mga benepisyo o kapital gikan sa kumpanya.
May we ask, sir, unsa nga ay asa nga mga mining communities ato ang murag gitan-aw nga i-implement ni siya?
Ang una gani ma'am ang Carmen Copper Corporation kaysa ako sang ipaabot siguro nga informasyon sa tanan. Ang waste karon sa Carmen Copper kanang wala na gani unod kaayo nga copper. Gigamit na karon og usa ka kooperatiba diha sa Lutupan nga sila na karoy mo galing niini. Onya gihimo nilang aggregates. Sila na nagbaligyan ini nga ri sa Cebu, sa Toledo og sa mga silingan pang mga lungsod. Manahimo na nilang source nila of livelihood. Muna nga nasugdan na ni siya, so ato ning i-expand through hollow block making. So dinding bahina nato ma-utilize sa mga plastics nga nahisgutan kaniya.
Thank you, sir. For RD Conyado, sir, I'd like to ask regarding sa katong pag-encourage sa LGUs to have ordinances on plastic bans. I understand Mandaue is already implementing it. However, the incoming administration would like to review the provisions of the ordinance, and I think what I wanted to ask from you, sir, is how do we kaning masustain, mahimo siyang sustainable gani, sir, and mo-maintain ni siya ang plastic ban, especially for LGUs nga we all know tag 3 years lang ang term aning mga officials, sir.
Actually, it started from the desire of the local government unit. In fact, pag-create ng no plastic ban plastic initiative na it's coming from the heart of this local executive that for the share of the management of the environment, they have to do something that will regulate and minimize the pollutions in terms of the plastic. So if the next administration, the new administrations, if you have to found out that this is a very good ordinance, I don't think that this next administrations will not support with this, sustain this kuan kanang ordinance, no. So dili yun nga nila i-recall na ang ordinance. In fact, kung imong tanawon, that's a very very good ordinance that will help in terms of management nato sa plastic. So I hope that this will be sustained, and I cannot dictate the local government unit, but I'm just only encouraging them to continue these practices and encouraging the other local government unit to do the same in terms of the plastic ban for the. So mo na ato ang usang gipang encourage nato ang tanang mga kuan, mga other mga newly elected or katong mga napabilin nga mga local government executive nga to pass a resolutions in terms of the plastic ban sa ilang lugar, respective locality.
Follow up lang. Aside sa Mandawi, do you have other LGUs na ba nga ni pass og resolution regarding ani, or wala pa? Mandawi pa lang gyud ang nag-ano.
So ang Cebu City murag hinahinay na sad sila nya kibaw na ka. I don't like to discuss these things, no. I should na to i-frame na to ang mga coming na to mga new officers, no. Pero for the sake of our environment, unsa may tan-aw ninyo kung iban ang plastic, maka-benefit pang environment nato o dili ba? So mo na atong ipasupot nato sa atong mga newly elected nga mga local government unit, kung at least they have to do their share in terms of the management sa atong plastic.
Ubay-ubay pa man gyud i-discuss, no, sa atong forum, but we don't have enough time. We need to end our Agio PAE 7 forum, but we would like to request our panelists to please stay because we still have some media friends who will be asking questions later on. So siguro dyan si pangayuan na nato closing statement, no, si Regional Executive Director of DNR 7, Red Gilbert Gonzalez, sir.
Since the theme of the environment month is about air pollution, I'd just like to add on sa explain ni William na actually the levels or the level of pollution, kung paano ma-establish natin kung whether it's good or bad, it's actually measured by the parameters we are measuring. So there are certain parameters that we use, which is the amount of particulate matters in the environment. So we have 10 micron sizes that are being measured. So we use the PM10 and the total suspended particulates, but we are more on the PM10. So dito natin nalalaman kung medyo threatened ba ang population. Actually, hindi masyadong critical sa Cebu. Although we have very limited number of monitoring equipment installed in Cebu, but in the stations that we have put up an equipment, ang readings doon ay hindi naman siya nag-exceed. In fact, in the last 5 years, okay ang trend niya. Pero almost flat siya eh. Pero because of the increasing population, the increasing activities, if we cannot probably regulate the motor vehicles, sa ngayon effective tayo, pero as population increase, the number of motor vehicles increase, then the volume of the emissions can also increase. So I think we have to do something about it, pero we have to do some controls on that. Pero sa ngayon, okay pa siya. So we are not much threatened in terms of the general conditions of the air quality, no. So yun nga, we just have to look into the results from time to time para kung may mga alarming na levels, we can take the necessary action. But basically, the biggest contributor are the motor vehicles. So you know how congested the traffic in Cebu. So kung hindi, buti meron tayong Clean Air Act which regulates the emissions by way of having the vehicles tested before they are registered. So ang laki na itutulong yan in controlling the emissions. And the industries naman, we have some measures to control it. So medyo mas efficient ngayon yung ginagawa nating monitoring because we require the big industries to put up their own continuous emission monitoring system so we can regulate that. And banning the open burning, so nawawala din yung mga sa area sources. So basically we are able to address the different sources. Pero yun nga, as population increase, as activities are increased, and then there is much dependency on motor vehicles. I think yun ang tinitingnan natin. Looking in the next 5 years or 10 years, it will be a different situation from today. So kailangan continuous yung ating
Yes,
effort.
may
So that's how we're
sustainability.
doing it.
Okay, thank you sir no. So wala naman gid tay enough nga time no sa atong Agio PIE7 forum. So Jan.
Yes, Ma'am Hay. So, in behalf of PIA 7, Agio 7, DYMR Radio Pilipinas Cebu, and My TV Channel 30, we would like to thank you for joining our forum today, and especially to our guests and our media friends for coming over. Hinaut inyo paming ubanan sa among mga musunod na forum. This has been Jan Carla Madrio together with Ma'am Hazel Gloria of PIA 7. Daghang salamat.